Hey folks, so I recognize that this background is kind of weird and not so great, but it's kind of the best I can do with the lighting in my home, and yes, I'm sitting on the floor, but that's just how it's gonna have to be. This video is one that I've been thinking about making for a while and am nervous to make because it means being open to criticism and discrimination and means being vulnerable in various ways. So, bear with me and my awkwardness, but I think it's important and I really want to share it despite it being scary to do so. Disclaimer, I'm going to be talking about lots of queer and trans things, and if you are not comfortable with those topic matters or are not particularly knowledgeable about stuff, that's really descriptive, you're welcome, stuff, then you might want to pause the video to look up words or watch it some other time. I mean, it's your call. It's really your call, right? This is my call. Watching it's your call. Okay, so I identify as non-binary, and that's been true for quite some time. I came out as trans when I was 17, and I'm a couple days short of 24 now, so it's not a new thing. And I've considered the possibility of taking testosterone to sort of get to a more midpoint that is more consistent with how I know myself to be, but I've only considered it sort of fleetingly in the past, largely because of my various health issues. If you want to know more about those and how they manifest for me, I'll put a link in the video I did about that. So yeah, in the past when I've considered going on T, I basically thought about it for a second and then disregarded it because I didn't want to add any more factors to everything that happens in this body of mine. But recently, over the last few months, I started letting myself think about it more and came to the realization that actually testosterone would be beneficial for me health-wise. So Ehlers-Danlos syndrome benefits from building of muscle mass because joints are therefore made more stable and the body as a whole is stronger, and that helps with EDS. It doesn't necessarily help with pain unless the pain is due to injury, but it definitely helps with instability, and as far as I understand, it can help with slowing the progression of symptoms. Well, testosterone increases muscle mass in the body and promotes strengthening and makes it easier to exercise and do things like that, which are really hard for me because of my EDS. In that regard, T would be helpful. I have PCOS as well. PCOS basically goes dormant, for lack of a better word, when more testosterone comes into the picture because the reproductive system starts to shut down. PCOS symptoms they're not relevant because they're not happening, because that's all of it's not happening. So testosterone's helpful for that as well. GERD and IBS also don't necessarily benefit from testosterone, but really don't benefit from estrogen and progesterone. So GERD, or maybe it's IBS, one of the two, is twice as prevalent in cis women as it is in cis men because there's more estrogen in the picture. So arguably adding testosterone would help with those symptoms as well. Those are like my 3 worst diagnoses. So when I realized this, I started giving testosterone a lot more thought and consideration, and I don't know that I'll ever be 100% on anything, but I feel as sure about this, or close to as sure about this as I can be. So I got a prescription for T. I picked it up on Wednesday, and I will be doing my first shot this evening. A friend of mine has agreed to sort of be my chaperone for that. I don't know if chaperone is really the right word. I was going to go do it at the doctor's with one of the nurses, but she's not in today, and it was really important to me to do it today on a Friday in case I have any sort of negative reactions, because this body's unpredictable, and I don't want to have to miss work or feel like crap at work if something doesn't go super well. I'm nervous, and I don't know that I need to get into all of the gender stuff about taking T, which seems ridiculous, right? Because that's generally why people that are assigned female at birth take testosterone is for gender reasons, and that's not untrue for me. But this video is about if testosterone will help my health. I really do think it will, so I'm excited to feel better. But even more than like feeling better, I'm really excited to be stronger. It's something that's been particularly hard for me in the progression of my symptoms, is losing a lot of strength. I was always like strong for no reason. Like I was somebody that could help people move and things like that, even though I never exercised, and there was no clear indication that I should be strong. But I was stronger than you would expect, and now I'm weaker than you would expect, and I don't like this option. The other thing is that testosterone increases metabolism, which for a lot of people means eating a lot and gaining weight, but my hope is that I can manage the eating and actually lose some weight. I've gained a fair amount of weight in the last year or so, and it definitely increases my pain and discomfort and makes everything a little harder. So that's a whole other issue with a bunch of like ingrained, internalized fat phobia. Not that being heavy is unhealthy, but that being heavy causes specific worsening of symptoms for me. We will see what testosterone does for my mental health. It's possible that it'll make my anxiety worse, because being irritable or frustrated or angry, which is a little easier when you have more testosterone in your body in general, those emotions are not feelings I enjoy, and they tend to make me anxious because I don't like them, and I don't like how I behave when I feel those ways. If that makes sense. But I'm an adult, and I can manage myself. And yeah, this is video number 1. I will keep recording videos, hopefully regularly, specifically on the topic of testosterone, and I hope to specifically talk about the changes or the impacts it has for me health-wise, as well as different gender stuff and just like the physical changes. This is also a nice lengthy recording of my regular conversation voice, because my voice is going to be changing soon, which will be interesting. Plus, with this video and the following, you'll just get to watch my hair grow and then probably get chopped off, because it's always what I do. Okay, thank you for watching. Watch some other videos, and hopefully in the future, I won't just babble forever. Okay, bye!